Hello, I'm Robert Wolff.
I'm Gabriel Peterson.
And I'm Michael Hall.
And you're watching Innovation Coffee, brought to you by Arm, where the coffee's hot, but the innovation is hotter. Actually, today my coffee is cold. It's a cold frappuccino. But lots of exciting stuff happening today. Now, as you all may know, Innovation Coffee, what is it for? We do a weekly live stream just like this one, very casual, very fun, to talk about the stuff happening in and around the ARM developer ecosystem. Now, today's episode, we're going to be meeting with one of our ARM ambassadors and AI engineer, co-founder of Asgard Corporation, Nicabed Gathaba. And he will be joining us to talk about all the cool stuff that he's working on and, of course, his experience thus far with the ARM developer program. So I know that if you really like this video, you're going to be hitting that like button, because I remind you every single week that if you like the videos, make sure you hit that like button. Of course, subscribe to the ARM Software Developer YouTube channel, because this is where you can find episodes like this, content like this, as well as various other fun and informative educational materials, tutorials, documentation, things that we provide very frequently up on the YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe so you can get access to things like this. Now, Gabe, you were the one who scheduled Nicabed.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, cool. So what do we have in store? What are the kind of things we're going to be talking about today?
Well, we're going to be talking about AI, Internet of Things, quantum computing. It's kind of a large range of topics that he has some expertise on. So it'll be fun.
All over the place. Excellent. All right, cool. So Michael, I know you've prepared some questions. Gabe, I know you've prepared some questions, but let's bring Nicabed on, because guest of the hour here. Hello, Nicabed. Good. What time is it over there? You're joining us from what is it, Nairobi, Kenya?
Yeah, Nairobi, Kenya. It's around 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's still early. It's okay.
It's still early. We're good.
It's early for you, Robert. Robert's a workaholic.
Early for me. Yeah, but yeah, okay, cool. So before we dive into I want to say the subject matter, Nicabed, I think it's important for us to get to know each other. And especially for the people watching either now or on demand later, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, who you are, and maybe a fun anecdote about yourself too. If you start off with that.
Yeah, sure. So, hi guys, I'm Nicabed Gathaba Kihonge from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm an AI engineer professionally, but my background is in electrical and electronics engineering. The power module option, this is power generation, yeah. And I do a lot of things. I wear a couple hats, from AI to quantum computing and to IoT making, yeah. So apart from being in the tech world, I'm much inside the communities, and I think this is why I'm an ambassador, bringing the technology outside there. And I think maybe the fun fact about me, I could say, is I do reformed theology. Despite having science, I need to have the spiritual part. Yeah, so theology is my part. That's Christianity. Yeah. Maybe medicine, the other part, which I never mentioned on the science part. Yeah, apart from that, I think, that's it. Unless there's something out there and people don't know, that's me.
Nice. Well, that's very nice to meet you, Nicabed, and thank you for joining us. So I'm going to let Gabe kind of lead this one here, since he was the one who organized it with you. So Gabe, why don't you take us into the episode here?
Yeah, so Nicabed, I know, of course, being an ARM ambassador, you probably, I would assume, have some interests and passions of developing on ARM-based technology. So what are some of the more fun projects that you have done centered around that?
Yeah. So mostly I've interacted. So I've been this will be. I have a funny story in regards to the technology. So back in campus, we were trying to create a 3D printer. Yeah, we didn't have any knowledge, so we were trying to gather information here and there, and fortunately, this is the place where we came and learned about, IP things, the processors, and we're like, okay, so what is this you're learning? And then there's this part about robotics, and we're like, okay, this is getting weird, but so we were creating a 3D printer to do scale drone skeleton production for, we wanted to scale to do VTOLs, yeah, for easier transportation of uh, the goods, yeah. And yeah, so that's how we interacted with this, but mostly it's through the Arduino boards, yeah, and it's like amazing, yeah. Yeah, all the bytes from perspective and power yeah, consumption, yeah, yeah. That's how we interacted the mostly my IP, yeah.
So real quick, I want to start off at a little bit of a higher level here as well. So, and, Nicabed, by the way, thank you for being one of our ARM ambassadors. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning, but part of the developer program, one of our ARM ambassadors. And I mean, just to let you know, ARM ambassadors, they're handpicked, esteemed developers from around the world. So you actually have to apply, and then we vet you and get accepted, right? So Nicabed, you're one of a very few amount of people in the world who have made it into the ARM ambassador tier, and thank you for like putting all that work in to earn that spot. But you are the co-founder of a company called Asgard. I'm actually kind of interested to know, what is Asgard? What is this company?
Yeah, so thank you. Actually, first of all, thank you for being picked as one. It's an honor to be an ambassador for ARM. Yeah, I appreciate that. So Asgard is it has a story behind it. So it was something after I learned about AI and the whole sci-fi thing, yeah, singularity thing, and I think actually the S is Singularity Guard. So
Oh,
that
wow.
is
Okay, that's cool.
yeah, that we were building prototypes to help in an apocalypse, yeah, of AI in case. But as I progressed further in the world of AI, machine learning, data science, you know, the whole concept I had was different to what now I do. So I was like, so there's so many people who don't understand this from a perspective of business and technology and the whole ecosystem. And this is how Asgard became. So we do more of a consulting basis in artificial intelligence and IoT. This is from AI strategy, data strategy, and mostly in the IoT is to do smart homes, telematics, and energy grid monitoring. Yeah, so that's the part of it. So that's like the bit of Asgard
So
corporation. But yeah.
you're protecting us from the singularity.
Yeah. So like we want to have that focus in regards to how we develop AI products or softwares. Yeah, like it's not just about having a good engine, a good fuel, to run through this road. It's about the responsibilities which you need to understand. Yeah, let's say you're creating a model. What does it require of you? Yeah, you don't just throw it outside there. The danger it brings. So this is how we do. We advise and give the strategy. From models deployment and everything. Yeah. So that's yeah.
Well, thank you, because I think it's an important thing. It's important that people who are developing an AI are at least conscious and thinking of this kind of stuff. So thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny watching all the engineers and tech enthusiasts and people like us who, in the very beginning, it's like, oh, this is so awesome, and then it's like, we should probably be a little careful.
Yeah, and it's nice that like some people are all on board, like 100%. Let's go to it. Some people are like, no, let's not. Let's avoid the singularity. It's good to know that some people are thinking about, okay, if it's coming, how can we, put some safeguards on that?
Well, also if you think about it too, and this was I think an episode that we had with, what was it, Zach? I think it was Zach Lashik, about, you talk about the singularity, right? And okay, well, computers becoming conscious, right? And then making their decisions for us. You say, okay, computer, how can we save humanity? And then the computer comes back and says, the only way to save humanity is to kill half of humans. And it's like, no, wait, no, I didn't mean like that. And that's the only conclusion they could come to. And so, boom, they decide to make sure that humanity is saved by doing that. But there's also situations where engineers need to be careful and or make sure that the code is vetted properly, because there's all sorts of diversity, equity, and inclusion aspects when it comes to AI, right? Where racism or sexism can be coded into these AI models so that things aren't happening properly as well.
Well, it's less they're coded in, and it's more that the training data they're using is not
biased or skewed.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so that's another big thing, right? Like ensuring that the bias is not skewed in AI models as well. But yeah, anyways, just want to touch on that, making sure that you're coding ethically, and I think that Sguard sounds like, you know, helping to protect against the singularity, but also ethic coding.
Yeah.
That's like the, you know, we need to secure a future. If it's not our future, it's the generations to come, and if you don't build the right way, it's gonna be chaotic. And you know, we love planet Earth. Yeah.
Yes, love planet Earth. Have you used this song from Lil Dicky? We
Yeah.
are here. Oh. Do you know that song or no, Nicabed?
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Sorry for interrupting. I just thought that was
no.
touch on.
And I mean, related to that, because of course, working in artificial intelligence, we're all now seeing it kind of explode into the public conscious. So things with generative AI and machine learning models being used for everything from like for advertising and data collection to like factory optimizations, thing like it. There's so many avenues that it's kind of exploding into. How is it seeing that? Because of course, being in it, you would have been passionate about it before it went public or before it gained mainstream public appeal.
Yeah, so I think there's been some kind of I could quote them tech wars in regards to AI, which is good, which is bad. So I'll say this from my experience is that first of all we have to understand like what is AI, and like how do you go like from the scratch, like starting it from scratch. Yeah, and I always tell people that AI isn't like the way people perceive it. So basically AI is like a full of, it's more of mathematics. Yeah, and the whole engine is based on maths. So a wrong formula is what can cause a bias and the likes. But anyways, little bit history about AI. So AI, I would say, like it started back in the 19th century, if I'm not wrong, because in the 20th century, mid 20th century is when like it became like a thing can be studied. Yeah. So it's from I don't know how to place it, but it's called cybernetics. So this is how humans were envisioning to create normal people, not normal animals, or rather replicating nature in the machine world. Yeah, and this is how they were studying it. And I think in 1902 there were robots that could replicate a turtle. And I mean that's 1902, and guessing the technology that was there, it's crazy, very crazy, right? And that's like the foundations till 1950s, where we found the godfather of AI, Alan Turing. Without the Turing test, you know, there's nothing, the whole thing. Yeah. So I think actually in the late 20th century, that's the 90s, that's when like AI became a thing with IBM Watson playing chess. If not Watson, I don't recall the name, but anyway, sorry guys. Yeah, so which it defeated the world chess champion back then, and this was like the rising moment, right? And coming onwards, we find in the 2000s, that's when we understanding things like deep learning, and you know how data it's helping this, and how machines can learn by, you know, punishing them and rewarding them. And so this was a whole concept until now, when we have things like generative AI. Yeah, so it's not just you have to teach it or anything, but it can generate data on its own. Yeah, from image to text to even audio. Yeah, and this is something amazing. But as the aspect I would say is just an understanding that this is a mathematics, and I can use it with the uh, the thing which is going ChatGPT, yeah. So when ChatGPT came out, it was like, yeah, the boom, yeah, everything we can do this, and then there were whole thing that is an AGI and the likes. But well, I would say in terms of AGI, we are a bit far, but not really far, but we in there. But so what I'm trying to say is that ChatGPT, the way it generates data, is what helped this. I think it's a student in MIT who created GPT-0, and like if you want to understand how like the mathematics is ChatGPT generates text and in a very formal in a formula way, and GPT-0 can be able to tell that this was generated by just understanding how the whole thing was working. Yeah, this is through tokenization. Yeah, in NLP, you like say the boy, this boy, you can say 1 2, and then you can interchange and the whole thing. It's just a bit of algebra, calculus, and probability. I think statistics a bit, but yeah, that's been part of it. So AI is a good thing, and it being outside there, it will help a lot of people. Actually, it will enhance the human capabilities. Yeah, like how we generate data, how we think of problems, the way we think. We won't like like for instance, sometimes I'm like, I can't write this email. I just like chat GPT it, edit a bit of part of it. Yeah, but back then I would have this backlog. I'm like, wow, what am I going to write? Yeah, this is the enhancing part. It's not like the way to embed in anything. Yeah, so my oldest point is to say it will enhance humanity. Yeah, I don't know. It's making sense. Yeah.
So in order to use it to enhance humanity, not to be humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's the purpose of technology, any technology. But now AI has that capability as a human. Like artificial intelligence, and then there's AGI, and then there's artificial super intelligence. Yeah. So the one. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and while you're looking that up, one of the amusing things about the emails is, especially with Microsoft's announcement that they're bringing their Copilot into Outlook and things like that, you're going to have people writing emails with ChatGPT or their Copilot, and then the person receiving it is going to have Copilot summarize it for them and then generate a response, and you're almost going to have it just talking to themselves with just a little bit of human oversight to make sure it's saying generally what you want.
At some point, the majority of internet traffic is just going to be AI talking to AI.
So there was a, I'm trying to find who it was. I think he was a biologist or a physicist. And this was decades ago. I think somewhere around 40, 50 years ago. And I could be wrong on this, but at some point, this guy, he said, I'm going to trace back throughout history the evolution of humanity, the evolution of humans, and I'm going to compare that to the evolution of technology, right? And we could just go back far enough to say, well, if humans are evolving, they're evolving very, very slowly. Like maybe our eyes start to change colors because it adapts to what the sun is doing or the temperatures that we live in. You may have different lung capacity because of the height of the mountains you live on. Different things like that. Humans adapt slightly over time, but technology is exponential. Technology is growing exponentially over time. And so what he said is at some point, and he drew these two graphs, and at some point, the technological evolution and the human evolution, it's like almost a flat line, basically. They cross paths. And at the point where they cross, he predicted this like 50 years ago, that it will cross at around the year 2030. Like in the 2030s. And he says that if humans do not utilize technology and or integrate technology into themselves, they will no longer be able to keep up with the technology that they created. And so this is basically saying that we're in the midst of the possibility of this particular person's prediction, saying that if we don't decide to integrate technology into ourselves, like almost becoming cyborgs and or finding a way to utilize technology better, then technology will outpace us and take us over.
Isn't that one of the key tenets or key problems that's part of the Fermi paradox.
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure that's the correct term. Like part of why people say, or part of the Fermi paradox is, well, why haven't we been contacted by intelligent life despite the universe being so vast? And that's one of the things. It's like, one theory is at certain point with technological advancement, it outpaces the organism's advancement and something happens.
Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson actually has a good quote on that one right there. Is why haven't we encountered aliens, right? Or people outside of this world? Like when you walk down the street and you see an ant or a snail, like, do you acknowledge the ant? The ant is so insignificant to us as humans that we just walk right by it. It's so insignificant that we don't even acknowledge its existence. And so an alien or some species could fly right by our planet and be like, humans, they're such an insignificant species that they fly by us in the solar system like we would walk by an ant.
I don't know. There's scientists who devote their entire careers and write theses
to studying ants. Yeah.
So
yeah, there's ant scientists among aliens, I'm sure.
Yeah, but do the ants even recognize the humans there? So then they could be studying us. We would have no idea. Anyways, sorry, tangent. That happens, Nicabed, by the way.
Yeah, anytime.
No, it's actually also because actually it just reminded me something, regards to that Nick Bostrom. You've ever heard of him? Like, for me, I'm like, this is the guy I go to like when I want to understand, such questions. Like he's the one who wrote the book Superintelligence. So like it gives the way how superintelligence will occur and what are the dangers and the strategies which will be there. So there's this paper you had written. I'm forgetting its title, but it was more on the consciousness of us as how we are. How will we differentiate between how can we say that an AI is conscious without understanding our own consciousness? And the whole thing about Matrix, the Matrix being in the Matrix, it's like already AIs are conscious, but we cannot tell because we don't understand our consciousness. So it's in regards to aliens, I think back in 2016, so there's a video trending online. It was of an UFO in one of countryside in Kenya, and actually it was around the month of June, July. It's actually cold around here, so there's a lot of clouds and mist. I tell you, like after that, I got scared because I was like, maybe I'm gonna get abducted with an alien. But
Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry, I'm laughing, but yeah, no, totally.
Sure, like the video itself, it's not a CGI or anything. It's just cartoon, and there's an UFO. The whole UFO, and I'm like, oh my god, this looks like my countryside, and I cannot go to visit my grandma because I might get abducted. Yeah, but anyways, so I believe if you're trying to understand about us ourselves or other intelligent, there's a lot of things, and I don't know if really there's aliens. I don't want to say they are not, but because there's still a lot of questions in regards if you want that's in to do with time space continuum, the whole thing of discovering planets, if there's life inside there, not just life, intelligent life, alternate universes. There could be another me somewhere having the same show. It's really complex to understand that, but I believe at the end of it, it's I don't know how I can place it, but it's very simple. Yeah. So and now in regards to this, so I just remember, we have AI and how actually let me talk of super intelligence. Yeah, a bit of it. So in the recent few years, there's a research program that's maybe research, I can put it that way. It's regards to AI, quantum artificial intelligence, and now this is where we involve AI and quantum computing and how the whole thing is going to be. And the next few years, if we reach 1,000 qubits, we'll have a very capable super intelligent that is able to think fast than us. And I don't know if it's faster than us, but first than any other human who has existed. Yeah, and the reason is quantum computers are like way super. How can I call that? They are supercomputers, but they are better than supercomputers. And if you've ever interacted with any supercomputer, you can you can just imagine how that how a quantum computer is. So like if you want to understand computing, let me just give you like a 101. Yeah, so quantum computing is application of quantum physics, and this is quantum mechanics. Yeah, so like quantum mechanics, we say this this is the mechanism that quantum states operate in. Yeah, like basically the way we operate in, like we wake up, do some stuff. So in quantum mechanism, this is the study of how these states are, and quantum physics is the study of the laws that these states occur, and these states are like basically superposition, entanglement, interference. So before I continue, I just remember I didn't say the funniest thing. Yeah. So we always know that the smallest particle in an element is an atom. Now imagine that atom. There's another atom which we can classify it as a subatom, and under that subatom there's another subatom, and it goes on. It's like a big loop. So this, in simple terms, is if we've studied the atom, there's electron, protons, and neutrons. Yeah. So this is basically what we study in the quantum world. Yeah. Let me call it quantum world. Forgive me, physicists around there. Yeah. Pardon. But yeah. So now, having that simple understanding that it's a subatomic thing we study, so quantum computers apply that part of like deal with the subatomic things, and superposition is simply like uh, how can I put it in simple terms? Yeah, I like put it in simple terms.
So,
So uh,
Nicabed, my understanding was that you have traditional computers or CPUs where the transistors switch on and off. You have a 1 or a 0. When with the subatomic measuring of atoms in a supercomputer, my understanding was that you measure the distance between the electron and the proton or neutron cluster in the middle, and so the electrons circle the neutron proton cluster, but then we measure the distance and set thresholds, and that is our state mode. So either on or off depending on the distance of the electron to the proton neutron. Now I'm not a supercomputer guy, but that was my understanding. So is that not the case? Like,
well, that can and might be the case, but in really like quantum computing, we talk of qubits rather than bits. Yeah. So it's an on and off, but now in a quantum computer, it's at the same time on and off at the same time. It doesn't follow a sequence like it has to be on off. Yeah, it's on and
Gotcha.
off. That's the state we call superposition. Yeah, it can exist in more than one state. So I could like I like giving a very simple scenario in regards to bits or qubits. So imagine you have a coin. Yeah, and the coin has two sides, right? So there's a head and a tail, right? So in a normal world scenario, when you flip the coin and catch it down, it's either head or tail, right? But now in the quantum world, in the like if I'm using this scenario in the quantum computer, uh, the bits operate in that aspect of that. When you're flipping the coin, when it's up in the air, you cannot tell whether it's a head or a tail. So that's how a qubit occurs. You cannot classify whether it's one or, but it's existing in the same time.
so it's
Yeah,
always in the air.
it's
It is
always
floats there.
there. It's
And then
flipping there.
you could do calculations on it while it's in the air, while it's in that superposition, right?
Yeah. And this is where it gets fun. If you're using oh my god, the term is I'm forgetting. So this it's not superconductor. But okay, the term is forgetting. But there like several types of quantum computers. So like the one which I'm very fond of is a photonic quantum computer, whereby you use photons to pass information in a very much quick speed. Yeah. So the second one is electrons. I don't know. I'm forgetting that term. Yeah. For electrons, where it's just a normal. It uses this normal silicon model of creating a computer, but now in the electron perspective, like it's counting on the electrons part. Yeah. Like this shortest thing about the subatom of an electron electronics is an electron. The subatomic of light is photon, and then there's another computer of ion trapping, and this is where like you have a certain ion. Maybe it could be which can I put? I don't know. I'm forgetting.
I know what you're talking about, and we know what you mean, though. We know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. It's
We're
so
not
this
going to
is
understand the science of it anyway, so don't
Yeah.
worry.
I'm nodding like I understand. I find it fascinating, but actually, that kind of that relates to a question I had, because
Mhm.
I wanted to know what drew you to quantum computing. Because for me personally, what I get drawn to with tech is a lot of what I can do on the hobby side, and then I delve deeper or put it more to the career side from there. Obviously, you can't really do quantum computing on the hobby side because of the complexity and costs of a quantum computer. So like, what drew you to it? What made you want to get involved with this?
Now this is always a funny story I tell people. So back in high school, I think if you're a fan of comics, so there's Flash and there's how he came to be Flash and the whole thing. So me and my friend, we were physics nerds. Yeah. So we loved physics. I mean, physics was like my top performing subject compared to mathematics. I don't know why. I used to pass it. But anyways, so his name is Clinton. Actually, I think he's watching. So we wanted to learn, the in depth. How did Flash exist? How does this first? How did it come into the whole story and everything? So we wanted to learn about the particle accelerator, how the accident happens, and in this particle accelerator thing following, we learned there's something called sun, and this sun, there's some experiments which they do, and it affects somehow the outside lab environment. Like, okay, so these people kind of collide atoms, at a high speed in this particle accelerator, and we're like, okay, so how do they do that? So it was like one question after the other, a follow-up. Yeah. So that's when we came to learn of quantum, subatomic. We didn't understand this thing back then, and we were like, okay, what is this? But anyways, how I came like to be much into the quantum computing was like, uh, I always had this, I can say, fantasy of building the fastest, computer that in a feeling of second, that snap. Yeah, I could create this, and then I thought that understanding the quantum world, we could be able to do things like teleportation. And funny thing is, when you can teleport photons from one end to the other, and this is how I came into it, and like I was like, okay, so this is how it goes. And then I tried to understand the electromagnetism, because also my background is in electrical and electronics. So like in power generation, there's a lot of uh, electromagnetism, yeah, and how this thing operates, and like this just a little bit, yeah. So that's how I came into quantum computing, and for me it's much of a fun thing I did. But now, as I'm developing, is more of concentrating on the industry side to build something that will be able to help people outside here. Like for me, I say I'm working on a project, or rather research. So it's to do with quantum machine learning, because we are not yet dealing with AI. So simply, it's in regards to genomics. Yeah, like how do you understand genome? Like a human being has like 36 billion pairs of genome, right? And a normal computer processing this data is, a handful of information. And inside those genomes, there's a lot of data contained in. But quantum computing will be easier because the laws it operates in is the same as the way our bodies, the way we operate in, because we are affected with that tiny, tiny thing. Yeah. And that's how I came into quantum computing. Yes.
Nice.
That's very
cool. Yeah, my physics skills were never strong enough to jump into that.
I love physics.
Yeah, like I've got a hobbyist level interest and understanding in it, but not anything deeper than that.
Yeah.
So,
Mike, I was going to say you have a question for Nicabed?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, what's the tech and maker scene like in Kenya? Are there any like tech communities or interesting projects going on there that we should try and get involved in?
Yes. So I'm gonna first start with the community I lead. So it's a maker community. It's called Arduino User Group Nairobi. So I think we are the biggest maker community around Kenya. If there's any, I'm sorry, but yeah, in around also Nairobi and Kenya. So what we do is we are Arduino user group. So most of our projects are based on Arduino, but we like not just tied to Arduino products. So it's a maker community, right? So we are actually open to other boards, Raspberry, Latte Panda, name them. NVIDIA, Jetson, Nano, yeah. So all of them. And this is like a community which anybody can come. It's free to join. All you need is just you be interesting, innovative, and you want to learn something new. So the other one will be One Quantum Kenya. So this is where we just a community of people who are doing quantum, different fields. It could be quantum biology, quantum chemistry, quantum physics, and in One Quantum Kenya, we have a project we dubbed, it's called Open Tether. Actually, it ties back to my project, my research. So Open Tether is, how can we build products, or rather software products based on quantum, using quantum computing power to, help the community, like a very good application of quantum computing in that in combination with quantum chemistry is drug discovery. And this is just to the deep, so this is what we are trying out here. How can we give this to the people, to be able to create drugs despite of the background you're coming in. And that one will be my favorite. It's called GDG Nairobi. So GDG Nairobi is it's a Google developer groups, which we talk about Google products mostly, and how we deal with this. So this is things from web, IoT, machine learning, and that. And then, as always, the king of the kings will be the Arm community, which yeah. So So we
you can spin around for a second.
There we go.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm developer program. So this is actually most people are from the age in Nairobi who are into this. So like how they can use IP to build products around it. Yeah, and this has been interesting because oh my God, I should have shown you guys some people who are creating amazing things outside here. Yeah. So they're creative guys. Projects other than that, I would say the other communities are Nairobi AI community. Yeah, so this is a community in Nairobi for AI enthusiasts. The other one is AI Kenya. Yeah, if I'm not wrong, yeah, AI Kenya. It's been the longest group community I learned back way from campus. So they have been a very good people to guide us, yeah. And this is what I think we shall follow as other communities, yeah.
After the episode, I'll confirm with you the web addresses for these communities you were talking about, just so I can put it in the YouTube description so people can click on them.
So,
Yeah,
Nicabed,
sure.
you
Yeah.
mentioned the ARM community, and I had a question about that. How did you hear about the ARM Ambassador program, and what was it that made you want to join that?
Wow, yeah, that's a good question. So, how I had it, so it was through Tiny ML. I think, yeah, Tiny ML. Yeah, I was learning Tiny ML. It's embedded learning challenge. Yeah, yeah, that's how I came to learn of the ambassador program. I think I was looking into something. I'm that guy who kind of tinkers around everywhere, and I was like, wait, so this, and wait, so this are the requirements, and there's been that something inside me that I've always wanted to do is to uh, teach people this. If I have these skills, I like teaching so that I can see how I understand them, and also giving back to the community. And about community, yeah, that's the first part, and then there's this part where I was like, I want to teach this. So what can I teach? How can I teach this? And I was like, yeah. So this is how I applied for ARM. I was like, yeah, this can help me gain more access, more connections, to be able to extend the technology, and actually it was the skills that I was looking for to extend in regards to the African makerspace. Actually, my goal is by 2030, we have around 100,000 developers, yeah, hardware developers actually, yeah, and this all of them will be like learning from ARMS IP and everything, yeah, from software to hardware.
So Nicabed, you're gonna get us 100,000 members into our Discord server.
That's my goal, yeah, from
Okay.
Africa, yeah.
No, this is this is gonna live on YouTube. It's recorded. This is like a verbal contract.
Guys, mark my words.
100,000 developers in our Discord server. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Just from Nicabed. Michael, you got the other
Big win,
100,000.
though.
Michael's bringing 100,000. Gabe's bringing 100,000. I'm bringing a few thousand. Nicabed's bringing 100,000. We'll have like 500,000 people in the Discord server.
Mine are all going to be Chat GPT bots.
Yeah. So it's for me. I like saying like if you're from a background like where I come from, like for me, if I give you like a basic school tour of where I grew up in, you'd be surprised with how I came even to learn about tinkering IoT stuff. Yeah, so people from this kind of communities or social environments, they don't have access or knowledge to this. And if we could start it at an earlier age, kind of teen, yeah, it will be better. Yeah. And this is like my aim. Yeah. This like, how can I teach these kids, from what I've learned, because I've grown from this, I've gone through some challenges and I know what they're going through. If I teach them this, they at least have that, we we kind of say it in my vernacular language that if you overskill, it cannot kind of expire, if that's, yeah. So it's better to have it than not have it, and that's my aim. Yeah, better for them to have it than not have it. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. We had a question from another one of our ARM ambassadors who's watching the YouTube stream. Dale asks, do you think that machines will have the ability to become truly intelligent using quantum computing technology?
Yes, that's actually one of the goals people have. Those who are working, in the deep aspect, the deep tech aspect of quantum AI. Yeah, and because you can replicate a lot of things with quantum, quantum computers. Like Richard Feynman was the person who kind of came up with the quantum, is the godfather of quantum computing, and his first quote was, I can 100% truly say that nobody understands quantum, yeah, because it's just complex and crazy now in another way. So he was trying to, replicate the world as we know it, the quantum world, everything in a classical computer, but it was so, kind of complex for a classical computer to be able to process these things. And that's how the process of quantum computers came into. So yes, in future there will be an AI that is powered by yeah, an AGI and an ASI powered by quantum computers.
And then Sguard will make sure they don't become a singularity.
Or if they do,
Yeah.
they'll protect humans.
Yeah, by eliminating half of them.
Yeah. So I just remember this two. I think they're series. They're all in Netflix, if I'm not wrong. One is called Travelers. So it's all about an AI that is controlling the future. That's able to. It's already created a time traveling machine. It sends people back to the future to to create a better future. In a sense, in a way, and it's
Back
it's
to
a
the
very
past to create a better
back
future.
yeah, sorry, yeah, back
No,
to the
that's okay.
past. Yeah, so it sends one of the it's an FBI agent. He's sent back to 2000 to prevent the 911 bombing, and now the whole future is changed, and now there's another progression, and this is all from an AI that is powered by a quantum computer, and then the other one is carbonated. Okay, I'm not recalling its name, but it's like a very sci-fi based movie that now they not only have AIs but they have humanoids and better versions of humanoids. Now they actually have ways of killing AIs. Very interesting. I think you can see like the last episode in the first season. It's they have a like a kill code. They just press a button and an AI can this vanish from So but in real life there's like uh, people who are trying to create such things. Apart from us, there are other people shaping the way. And like quantum computers, I think for me, I'm gonna speak because I do photonics. uh, Photons will be like it's the future kind of a way, if I'm not wrong, because it's all about the light and spreading the light to the world. Yeah, and because quantum computer doesn't require like those complex environments, so it can operate in the same room temperature. So like superconducting, yeah, that was the name. Superconducting computer requires you to have like a 0 degree, condition, yeah, like minimum. It requires a code place, and it's so hard because you have to have cryogenics and a lot of hardware to have it. But a photonics one is not very simple, but it's a very simple compared to other quantum computers to create. Yeah, so that's
Nice. So I know because we're only 10 minutes away from the end of this, I wanted to segue into a question and the scene or graphics that you play for the cribs.
Oh,
yeah.
So
We're
I was
going to do the what's on your desk segment now.
Yeah. So first, the question I was going to ask is, if you're allowed, like what ARM related projects are you working on right now? But that'll also segue right into the next segment where I know you have some hardware on your desk.
we're just gonna hit it now. Let's just do it now. This is Innovation Coffee Cribs. If you don't know, then now you know. Yeah, but no, this is what was it? This is the diary of Britney Spears. Remember that old MTV show?
I do not.
Okay. Anyways, so Nicabed, this episode or this segment right here, like Gabe said, is what projects are you working on right now that you can share on ARM? And then I think in the green room earlier, you were showing us some tech. This is kind of like an opportunity to, because I think the projects you're working on include the tech that's on your desk. So maybe you could show us what's on your desk and tell us about what you're working on.
so actually we are still I don't know. So it's just a preloaded program. So it's from a guy called Felix. He's one of maker from AUG Nairobi. So he's like, it's custom built a board, Arduino like Uno design. Yeah, it's very simple. So it has like infrared and a lot of components inside it, and it's using an HTML from microchip, yeah, mix.
Oh,
So
okay,
it's,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and it's that utilizes Arm IP, right? And yeah, so one fact about this guy, I think I can place it. I don't know that. Yeah, his FBA Go. Yeah, that way. Uh, he's an hardware engineer, but his GitHub, what they call these green dots. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Just commits, the commits that he's made.
Yeah, yeah, like 250 something K. And I'm like, oh my God, who are you?
Wow.
Are you human? Yeah. So, yeah, he like actually challenged me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna need to do this. And yeah, so the next thing is board in mine is the newest Arduino Giga run Wi-Fi. So it's the newest. It's using ST32 processor. So one cool fact about this is that you can run machine learning projects, that is computer vision, from this one simple thing. And it's powered, it's Wi-Fi powered and Bluetooth powered. So it means the connections are very easy. It could be good for an IoT thing like computer vision. So for me, I've been trying to work on this, not yet like fully on. Yeah, I haven't yet integrated the board, but a gun sound detector system. Yeah. So like basically, if there's a gunshot, it will be able to tell what kind of a gunshot it is, and send required information to the cops. That's my assumption, and any security personnel around that place to be able to respond. Yeah.
Real quick, just so you know, those are really important things to be considering nowadays. Like when it comes to gunshot detection, not only for like cities, but also for forests or for areas where there are poachers or hunters that should not be hunting particular types of animals. And also in forests and areas where there should not be, let's just say, the cutting down of trees, where you hear chainsaw or vehicles where vehicles should not be. And so then, boom, it hears it and notifies authorities saying, hey, there's a poacher in this area, or hey, there's some deforestation happening when it should not be. So you know that all of those types of audio cues and sensing is very important.
Yeah, sure. Actually, that's the reason it has U jacks.
Oh yeah, the 3.5 millimeter jack.
Yeah, and that makes it easy to get sound to it and actually be able to run an ML model. And thanks to Edge Impulse guys, actually those guys are doing a really good job. They're helping me to avoid all the model training and everything else I need. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. So actually I would have demoed it, but the speakers, I mean the microphone design is it's what I'm still working on. It's the best one to include. Yeah. So yeah, those are the only two things, and yeah, that's it. That's
nice. No,
yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. So, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Any other questions? Because if not, I know we have some of our usual suspects to promote.
Yeah. We ready to Nicabed? I mean, gosh, thank you so much for joining us. This has been amazing.
Yeah.
I appreciate for having me. It's amazing.
Yeah, we'll have you on again. Maybe we'll do like another ambassador episode. We'll bring some more ambassadors on. We can have like a roundtable type thing. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. That's some interesting. Can't wait for that.
Awesome.
Have everybody bring a project and show it off.
Yeah, everybody bring a project that show it off, and then Michael will be the judge. He'll Michael will be like, say who wins, and maybe we'll send out an Amazon gift card.
That
Yeah.
actually would be a really
Yeah.
fun
Yeah,
episode
that
with
would be.
each showing off demos. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Judge the criteria. Ambassador hackathon or ambassador show and tell.
Yeah.
There you go, ambassador show
I
and
love
tell.
it.
There you go.
Let's do it.
We need a graphic made for it.
Yeah. Cool. So
Yeah.
should I? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying it's a good thing. I think I should get a 10 for showing my tech early. So yeah, that's 1 point for me. You,
Nice.
yeah,
So, should I close this out then?
And you should. So real quick, I just put the graphic on the screen. That's Nicabed's link tree. So from there, there's a bunch of links to his Twitter, his LinkedIn, his things like that. So you can click on that and get more involved with him and what he's doing.
Awesome. All right, Michael. Any last words from you?
As always, don't forget our Discord. We're there all the time to talk to you, and we do have office hours every Tuesday, so you can join me there every week.
Yeah, and for the Discord, we usually click that thing right there. Boom. All right,
Beat
cool.
you to it.
Beat me to it. Okay, so Nicabed, once again, thank you so much. Pleasure having you here. Thanks for spending this hour with us. I hope you enjoyed yourself as well. I'm going to close the episode out now, if that's okay with you, Nicabed.
yeah, sure. Just like the last thing is, if it ain't fun, don't do it.
If what?
If the project, if anything you're working on is not fun, don't do it.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
fun.
I
and do it.
like that. I like
Yeah.
that. If it's not, because otherwise you won't even make it won't be good. Yeah, you won't have passion in it. So
Yeah.
all right, cool. Well, Michael, are you gonna run the closing cinematics
Yep,
when I'm
I'll
done
close
here?
this out. So
All right.
thanks everyone.
Yeah, wait, not yet. Not yet.
Really?
Okay, we got close. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. Whether you're watching this live or on demand, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the Arm Software Developer YouTube channel. Also, every single URL, or we'll do our best, of course, every single URL or thing we discussed during this episode, look down in the description. You'll find it there. If you weren't here present or your questions weren't answered, you can post a comment. We'll make sure we get to that. Don't forget to join the Discord server. And Mike, I think now we're ready. Nicabed, have a wonderful day. Gabe, Michael,
Bye.
take care. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye everyone.
Arigato.